So Tony Adams has called out Mikel Arteta, and he's called out Mikel Arteta's decision-making or lack of decision-making in relation to the captain. And he's also made some comments which I think you can read between the lines against. Now, I'm going to give my thoughts on this, and I did actually retweet the actual clip itself on Twitter or X yesterday, and it's caused a stir. It clearly has provided a divide in the Arsenal fan base. Some are saying that he's spot on, some are saying they don't really care for him, and some are saying that it's an absolute disgrace. I'm going to give you my thoughts. Whenever a legend comes out, I always respect their opinions. Whether I believe them or agree with them or disagree with them is something else. But I always respect them because they've been there, they've done it, they know what it's like to wear the shirt, and they know what it's like, very importantly, to win wearing that shirt. So when I hear Tony Adams, Thierry Henry, Emmanuel Petit, Paul Merson, Martin Keown, Lee Dixon, any of the guys that are a pundit now that have had a say on Arsenal, I always listen. And I always try to look at where they're coming from a kind of standpoint of winning and achieving at the football club. I love the pundits that say it how it is. And those four pundits for me that played for Arsenal are Emmanuel Petit, Tony Adams, Thierry Henry, and Paul Merson. They're not trying to keep themselves in a nice little tidy job at Arsenal. They're not trying to keep close to the clubs that they might one day get a job. They just say it how it is. They're the equivalent of Roy Keane and Manchester United for me. They're the closest that you can get to it in terms of a pundit. And when they talk, I listen. I have an amazing amount of respect for them because obviously they're my heroes. But I always listen to those four in general because I truly believe they speak from the heart. They're not saying it just to keep good, relations with the club. They're not saying it to try and keep their nice job. They're not saying it so that one day they might be, the face of Arsenal Football Club or an ambassador at the club. I think genuinely those four say what they think. And they've always been like that on the pitch. They were no nonsense, right? Whether you thought they were unbelievable at football or thought they were bang average or thought they were just okay footballers, Paul Merson, Petit, Thierry Henry and Adams all won trophies and all delivered when it comes to Arsenal Football Club. So I will always have respect for them. What has surprised me more than anything is the backlash that Tony Adams has received. Now, it's not from all fans. A lot of fans on Twitter or X and social media have all said, bang on, agree with every word. Some of the fans have said, bit bad timing, but yeah, I think he's probably right. And some of them have said, what a disgrace, toxic, negative, get him out, no longer a legend. And I've got to be honest, I find it bizarre. He's allowed his opinion, first of all. He is allowed to say it when he wants, whether it's good or bad timing. And he is allowed to tell people his thoughts and say it as brutally honest as he wants to. So for those that have been living under a rock and have no idea what I'm talking about, it is, of course, Tony Adams chatting on stage with an audience in relation to Mikel Arteta. Now, I do think that rightly so, these are good events because I think that people do need to hear it and understand what it was like back then. But I'm sure that Tony Adams, anyone that's been with an audience with him or any of these players, will all have the same opinion. He's a great guy, a legend of the club, and absolutely outstanding with what he achieved in the game. And I thought he was bang on here. However, it's caused some backlash. Let's have a little bit of a listen to what he actually said, because there will be confusion and some people will say we've twisted it. But actually, let's not twist it. Let's actually listen to what he said.
Are you a fan of Arteta?
Oh, I think he... What? He's got a really big call to make this year. And for me, he hasn't done it. And the call is to make Declan Rice the captain. I think Declan is my kind of captain. And what it might do, it might free Odegaard up to play with a bit more freedom. Terry Venables did it. He took David Platt and he put me as captain. And Glenn Hoddle took me out and put Alan Shearer, which was a silly decision. But every now and again, as a manager, you have to put someone that reflects you, that reflects the football club, that you think you can actually take it to the next level.
Does he reflect Arteta?
I think he's better than Arteta. I think he's a winner. I think he's an Arsenal leader in the dressing room, around the training camp. He's got standards, he's got principles. I think big managers go, right, actually, you're my man now.
Did you say, I think Rice is better than Arteta, he's a winner, as in Arteta's not a winner?
Well, I think, yeah. Well, no, I'm just saying he's got an opportunity this year to actually turn into a winner. 5 years now. 5 years. He got great success at the start with a very defensive team. He got everyone behind the ball, basically, and we nicked the FA Cup. So going on and winning leagues, to win league titles, you have to be a Klopp. You have to be a Ferguson. You have to lead by example. You have to be a winner. You have to go about your business. And that reflects in your captain. And by making Odegaard a captain is a reflection of Arteta. And I can really see that. And I'm seeing Declan Rice as a captain, but I'm saying to Arteta, come on, step up now. It's your time to be a winning manager and a fantastic manager, because you're not going to win the league with Odegaard as captain. I'm sorry. It's going to be a rotation job, and you're going to get the same mentality of sometimes him and that one to come out and that one to go in and that one. You've got someone in there that's going to play every game all season, that's going to encourage people to come in and do this and do that and lay the foundations of a title-winning team. Declan Rice can do that. Odegaard can't. Come on, Arteta, make him captain.
So he's spitting facts there, in my opinion. I don't think what Tony Adams is doing is slating Mikel Arteta. I think he's questioning him. I think he's looking at his decision-making and potentially his lack of decision-making and saying, now's your time to change the captain, bring in Declan Rice, tell Odegaard that he's done a great job up until now, but to take us to the next level, I need to see these leaders. Now, it's different to when Tony Adams was a captain. I totally get it. We had leaders on the pitch back then, but nowadays, it seems that the fan base are quite happy not to have a captain with an armband. They want 5 or 6 leaders. Now, I don't believe that. I think it's good to have that on the pitch. But I personally think there needs to be one person you go to, one person you look up to, and one person who's your role model. And for me, when I look at the pitch right now, we all know it's Gabriel and Declan Rice that have got the actual leadership qualities we want to see on the pitch. The old school mentality of a fan is that you should be barking orders, pointing fingers, grabbing people by the scruff of the neck, getting them across the line, telling them where to go, telling them what not to do and what to do. Odegaard doesn't do that. He leads by examples. He leads the press. He's a role model in the dressing room and everybody likes him. That's great. And it's great to have people like that. They shouldn't wear the armband though. And I think we're struggling with captains of late. If you look at Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira of old, you look at Steven Gerrard and the John Terrys and Frank Lampards, I don't think they exist anymore. You look at the captains now, I wouldn't be able to tell you some of the captains of some of these top sides even. I look at the scenarios of Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea and City over the years. They haven't really had any captains I look at and go, wow, yeah, he's barking orders. You won't mess with him. He's the one who's in charge. Maybe Vincent Kompany at Manchester City. You have to go back as far as Rio Ferdinand, in my opinion, at Manchester United for somebody like that, or maybe a Gary Neville or a Roy Keane. With Arsenal, I think Patrick Vieira is the only one that I think people were scared of with the captain's armband. Since then, I think it's been chopping and changing. And I think with Liverpool, since Gerrard, Henderson was a great captain, but he wasn't a Gerrard. He was definitely respected in a different way. So I think the captaincy has changed massively now, and I appreciate that. But what I'll say is this. When it comes to Tony Adams, he gets it. He was a captain of Arsenal and won Premier League titles. And he doesn't see that Mikel Arteta and Odegaard are the right people to get Arsenal across the line. Because he's questioning Mikel Arteta there, saying, are you a fan? And he kind of went, nah, that's enough to tell you he's not sure still. With Martin Odegaard, he's questioning his decision-making. Is he the right person to wear the armband? And I understand why he's questioning that. I think he's spitting facts. I don't think there's anybody that can tell me that what he said there was bang out of order, a disgrace, disgusting, and shouldn't be seen now as a club legend. And I look at the reactions from people, and I cannot believe it. Now, there's some that have said he's spot on. Agree with me. Facts. Absolutely. Yep. Totally. Good to hear. Refreshing to hear. Great to see a legend talking sense. But there's some that have had absolute meltdowns about it. Calling him a disgrace, saying that he's drunk still, saying he doesn't know what he's talking about, that he's jealous because he couldn't make it in management. Mikel Arteta can. This guy is not jealous of Mikel Arteta. He has a statue outside the ground and has an unbelievable history with the club and is seen as an iconic legend. Mikel Arteta has no statue and hasn't won anything at Arsenal since the FA Cup in 2020 when he was a rookie. So there's a massive difference here. Just like when Thierry Henry came on the overlap and said, I understand Arsenal are building, but how far does the building have to get before we say, actually, time's enough now? And they were telling him he was a disgrace. This is awful. How can you go against my precious super duper Mikel? Come on, people. This is Arsenal. This is one of the most successful clubs in England with a history that is making everybody that supports them proud, or at least should. We're the third most successful team in England. So we've got to start acting like it. And when Tony Adams and Thierry Henry and Emmanuel Petit are questioning whether Mikel Arteta is the man, that is not a toxic, disgraceful, negative thing to say. It is a genuine question, people. Why are we getting so angry about it? Now, I understand, to be fair, when people say maybe the timing could have been better, but when was that? It's come out now. Was it yesterday? Or was it a few weeks ago? I've no idea. The timing might not be great for going into a new season, but you know what? Tony Adams is entitled to his opinion. And I happen to believe every word that he said. So what I then did was I put out a tweet and I thought to myself, let's take a little bit of a look, right, at some of the responses. And I don't really care that I'm going to put people's names up on screen because you know what? They've put it all over the internet anyway. So I'm not going to start protecting people. Some people have said great stuff. Some people have said shocking stuff. But just look at some of these comments. King Arteta is saying sense. Even with a name like King Arteta, he believes Adams is talking sense. Then we get Claire, who comes online and says he's bitter like some of the other ex-players. I don't understand this. How is he bitter? The guy has got nothing more to do in football. Nothing more. He's completed the game. He's become a hero and a legend and still is the best captain that Arsenal will ever have. He is Mr. Arsenal. What is he jealous and bitter of? That Arteta is the manager and he wants to be? Trust me, Tony Adams never wanted to be the manager of Arsenal. He wanted to get into football coaching and realised that actually it's not really for him. There is no bitter or twistedness from him whatsoever, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Then we have a few people that are disagreeing with me. And then we have this here, right before the season kicks off as well, you know, scumbag behaviour. He's chatting shit and he's being disrespectful. I don't think he's chatting shit. That's my opinion, but that's his opinion that he thinks he is. It's not disrespectful at all. He's not said, why have we got this clown of a manager? He's not said, this manager's hopeless, we need him sacked. He's not said, I have no respect for Mikel Arteta, I think he's hopeless. He has clearly questioned his decision of the captain and has stated that it's been 5 years now and it's time to deliver. There is nothing disrespectful about that whatsoever. Shockingly bad that people think it is. This is an agenda and it's built to destroy the dressing room. What is he talking about, this guy? If he was wise enough, he wasn't supposed to say such trash a few days to the start of the season. People are really rattled by this. They're really rattled by this comment, and I don't get why. I don't get it. It's 100% the truth. Some people agree with him. I can't remember the last time he said something positive about Arsenal. He's naturally negative. So anything you do that questions Mikel Arteta is negative and seen as toxic. I can't believe it. I can't believe what we're doing here. And this is not to try and cause a divide, by the way, because I know what I'll get in the comments. Oh, Dan Potts trying to ruin the fan base. Trust me, I'm not that powerful. I won't be able to do that. However, I'm just highlighting some of the opinions that I find absolutely wild in this fan base. Absolutely wild. Now there's people that are on the other side of the fence here thinking that the people that think Tony Adams is talking sense are absolutely wild as well. But I can't believe this. This is my channel and my opinion. Go crack on with other channels if you want, more than welcome to. But this is mad for me. Some are saying sense, some are agreeing with him, and some people are disagreeing with him. But we've also got people like this guy here saying, chatting rubbish as usual. He doesn't explain how changing the captaincy to Rice improves anything at all. I think he did, if I'm honest, but I don't think he went into it enough because I think he was so passionate about it. They never asked him to elaborate. But he's saying that Martin Odegaard does not have the attributes and the qualities in terms of leadership to be a captain, but Declan Rice does. And I think that when you use your eyes, you see that on the pitch. That's quite clear that Declan Rice is a captain, and he was a captain of West Ham. Odegaard, I don't think is the right appointment. But I did say that a few years back. I would have given it to Kieran Tierney when he was fit enough. And then I probably would have given it to Gabriel. But there we go. Let's have a look. Where are we? Here we go. Played win titles, now you can talk and everyone listens. Football's changed. These players need to accept that things have changed. These guys who run their mouth everywhere on TV played at a time when two teams were competing for the title. So again, no absolute disrespect. He is believing that Tony Adams had no right to say anything because when he won the league, it was easy because there was only two teams that could win it. What a load of absolute nonsense this is. Crazy. An easy target should not be captain. I agree with that. Erdegaard is an easy target. It's that simple. Well, he shouldn't be captain then. And this one is brilliant. This is absolutely hilarious. 100% toxic. I don't see anyone pushing for Rice to take over from Harry Kane. It's been decades that he did well for Spurs but underperformed in winning titles. This is a horrible attack on a well-loved captain by players and staff. It's for media relevance and it's worse to me than what Ian Wright did. I'm not quite sure what he means by what Ian Wright did, but for me, I do not understand how anyone can lose their mind so much. Bringing the England captaincy into it, Harry Kane has been a good captain for England, to be fair. It's not the same thing, in my opinion. I don't think people are questioning the England captain. Now, personally, I probably would give it to Declan Rice, right? But that's probably a biased thing. And Harry Kane's not going to be around forever, right? But it's not the same. Erdegaard has been questioned with his leadership qualities by the fans and by rival fans. Harry Kane is not. So it's a different scenario. Arsenal fans will only feel this is toxic if you're shoulder to shoulder with Arteta. Totally agree. Maguire and Xhaka played their best football when they got stripped of the captaincy. Some players are not designed to be leaders on the pitch. I agree. I totally agree. Talking a lot of sense for sure. I've never seen Erdegaard as a captain character for sure. I'd listen to Adams rather than those rookies currently in charge. If I'm honest with you, it's fair. It's not his decision. It's an individual opinion. It doesn't matter to those that run the club. He gets paid to say it. Then we've got spot on. Arteta must listen. He put his head down deep into our Champions League run. A leader should be the last to give up. Totally agree. Totally agree. And it goes on. But there's been others as well that I've seen. Others that I've been sent. People have said to me, how the hell can people be saying stuff like this? I've got two on my phone that I'll read out to you just to give you a bit of an example. So apologies, I'm going to have a lot of me head down for this one. But I can't believe what we're seeing. We have had two Twitter things that have been sent. One of them says, that drunkard Tony Adams can go F himself. This is an Arsenal fan, by the way, apparently. Right? So-called purported Arsenal fan. And then we have, where is it? Sorry, there we go. Haven't had one leadership issue since in 4 years, but we talk about stripping captains. Listen to yourselves. Now, I'm sorry. I really am sorry. But I do not understand where the outrage and the hatred and the personal attacks on Tony Adams have come from. It is purely because he has questioned their beloved Mikel. Now, I like Mikel Arteta as a coach, and I think he's done a good job getting us challenging, but I question whether he can get us across the line. Does that mean I'm toxic and negative and need to go and support Tottenham or someone else? Tony Adams doesn't believe that Erdegaard was the right choice for captain. Does that mean he's no longer a legend and he's not welcome here? You are allowed to have opinions that are different. Roy Keane does it all the time. He says it how it is. Manchester United are a mess. These are the players that aren't good enough. Not sure the manager's right there yet. People at the top need to get it right. What's wrong with that? Is that toxic or is that facts? People have come and said, Mikel Arteta has done a good job to get us to where we are. Is he the guy to get us across the line? I hope so, but I'm not sure. Oh, that's toxic. I think what all Arsenal, ex-Arsenal players, legends should do, I think these sections of the fan base expect them to all come out and go, I think we're the best team I've ever seen. I'm not sure why Arteta gets stick because I think he leaves Pep Guardiola, Arsene Wenger, Jose Mourinho and Sir Alex Ferguson dead in the water. I don't think they'll get anywhere near what Mikel Arteta will be at Arsenal. I think people are underappreciating the fact that Arsenal in the next 10 years are going to win every trophy and Mikel Arteta is going to dominate English football. Maybe that's what they want us to say. And do you know what? I hope he does. I really hope he does. It'd be unbelievable if that happens. But if you're not saying that and you're not singing off those song sheets, I think they get the ump this section of the fan base that we've got. Now, some of them could be more realistic and say, I genuinely do think Mikel Arteta will get it right. I know it's been disappointing, but there's something about it right now that I think They're so close. And with a few more signings, I really think Mikel Arteta's the man. But he's got to do it, and he's got to get across the line. And do you know what? If it ain't this season, then maybe they look to replace. That would be fine as well. But I don't know why everything positive has to be lapped up to the next level. And if it's not, you get shot down. And I think that's mad. But listen, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know if you agree with Tony Adams or not. Just say agree or disagree. Or agree with Adams, disagree with Adams. That's all I need to know. Make sure you're following Match Bingo, people. Scan the QR code here and links in the description. Make sure you are liking and subscribing because we are on the way to our next target, which is 60,000 subscribers. Take care. We'll see you next time. We're out of here. I'll see you on the next one.